Good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are, my lovely people. I hope you're having an amazing day, and welcome to r/Am I the A-hole, where you will hear 3 stories involving cheating spouses. I'm RedLovesMaroon. Hit that like and subscribe button, and let's begin. I broke up with my ex-girlfriend over 5 years ago when I caught her cheating on me. We had a 7-month-old son that I learned wasn't mine after I demanded a paternity test, and so I was out of his life after that. It hurt going through all that, but what hurt the most was some people in my family being against me leaving my son. Some stopped talking to me, others I stopped talking to, like my mom, because she still wanted to accept my ex's kid like her first grandchild. So I said fine and cut contact. Last year I had my first son. We celebrated his 1-year birthday on the 1st of the month. When my girlfriend got pregnant, my mom reached out and wanted to make amends for us to be in each other's lives. She said she hasn't had any more contact with the ex. I was mostly thinking about my son and that it would be nice for him to know his grandma, so I gave her a chance. On the actual day of my son's birthday, my brother saw my mom first and went, "Oh shit." He saw her getting out of the car with my ex's kid from the window and he told me. My brother told me he had no idea she was going to bring the kid and said he'll keep her outside if I want. I went outside instead and my mom had the kid wait in the car while we talked. I was so pissed. I remember yelling at her for trying to bring him to my son's birthday. My mom kept apologizing for hiding it. She just really felt bad because his real dad doesn't want to be in the picture. And they still have pictures of me and him from when he was a baby, so he still thinks he's my kid. It was hard not to lose any more of my cool, so I just remember saying, "Get the fuck out and don't ever come back or bring him around again." It was a whole thing, and everyone who was already there saw it play out. My mom left, and my brothers were trying to cheer me up and get the party back in a happy mood for my son. Some family were in a bad mood, and they left early. The shitstorm happened after that, and they're still mad for how I treated my mom. Even she said she's hurt about how I disrespected her, and she knows it was wrong to lie. But she was really trying to make it easier on the ex's son by making him feel a part of the family. She really thinks I need to give him a chance because I loved him once. I just hung up on her. Still, everyone's on me calling me an a-hole for callously kicking her out for having good intentions, even if they were misplaced. Am I the a-hole? OP, it is so wild that your mother would do this to you. And to this child. Now your mother isn't a butthole for choosing to help your ex with the kid. That's her choice to do so. Your mother and your ex are totally wrong for continuing to tell that child that you are his father because she's setting him up for a lot of disappointment and pain because eventually, or even currently, that child is going to experience a lot of emotional issues from feeling like you abandoned him and from anger at them not telling the truth about his real dad. I mean, really, keeping pictures of you with him as a baby and telling him that you are his father, that's wild. A lot of people would be upset about someone who abandons a kid that they help parent because of DNA, but the kid was 7 months old when you did this. He would have never remembered you if not for your mother and your ex, which is also why it's really ridiculous that some of your family is upset with you for not choosing to be this kid's father. You're definitely not the butthole to me, OP. But enough about my opinion. I really like this comment by user Togar Sucks. It's really thorough and sums up a lot of the problems you're having right now. Not the a-hole. Her intentions were not good. She was so swept up in being a grandma that she chose to basically adopt your ex's son and remove you from her life as a result. After deceiving you about maintaining contact, she tried to sabotage your son's first birthday party by bringing him there. I have no doubt that her thinking was it would be too awkward for anyone to kick her out and they would all fall in love with the cute kid. Be aware that this isn't over. If she has been showing this kid pictures of you and claiming that you are his father, getting kicked out of one party and cut off again isn't going to stop this scheme. Be prepared for this kid to try and get in touch with you when he's older, wanting to know why you abandoned him. I feel the worst for him in all this. Your mom is making his already unfortunate situation so much worse. Anyway, enough of that post. Let's go to the next one. I found out my ex was having an affair 5 years ago. He left me for the other woman who he now has 3 kids with. We have 2 together. Our daughter is 10 and our son is 8. At first, I did my best to try and put things in the past and think of the kids by being considerate when it came to the siblings. And then they started expecting me to send more and more. I'm talking not just something for Christmas or birthdays, but Easter, whenever I get my kids something big just because. It was also the expectation that I would take them on fun trips with my kids, that I would have them in my home, and I just can't. I hate my ex, I hate his wife, and I don't love their kids even as my kids' siblings. I don't hate them, but I also don't want to be a part of their lives. Might sound terrible, but I just can't. Even with them being cute babies and toddlers, there's too much that went on with me and my ex and his affair partner that I can't deal with. Now, my ex is claiming that this is hurting the kids. I'm a spiteful bitch, that I owe it to our kids to be a better person, etc., and that it made the kids' days to have gifts from someone other than mom and dad since his wife is a former foster kid and he was disowned by his family for cheating. They are very religious and do not approve of divorce or any kind of cheating, and I can confirm that they were disgusted by his actions. X was never a person who had a lot of friends and definitely not one who would buy gifts for the kids. My kids never really got into buying the gifts, which could be due to X only having 1 weekend a month due to his work schedule. But yeah, I guess a part of me does feel bad because kids. The other part of me just really resents being in this position and being taken advantage of by my ex and his wife. Am I the a-hole? OP, it is just ridiculous that a man who cheated on you, left you for his side piece, and had multiple kids with said woman is telling you to be the bigger person. Those are not your kids and you have no obligation whatsoever to play second mommy to them. They are taking advantage of you and your pockets. You definitely do not need to buy your ex's kids a single thing. It doesn't matter if they're your kids' half-siblings. If he wants his kids to have more people in their lives, then he needs to reconcile with his parents and the rest of his family. You are definitely not the butthole and have every right to feel the way that you do. Anyway, this comment by user Indiscreet really summed up many of the problems in your story. Not the a-hole. You are totally being taken advantage of. You have absolutely no obligation to your ex's children with his new wife, and setting healthy boundaries is better for you and for your children, which should be your primary concern. The fact that your kids only spend 1 weekend a month there, yet you're expected to get your ex's other children gifts for all occasions is just beyond weird to me. Black hole any and all conversations about this. No is a complete sentence. But enough of that post. Let's go to the next one. I'm a 26-year-old male and sort of caught in this, and I'm not sure if I'm the a-hole. My ex and I married right out of high school. We were pressured because she was pregnant with our daughter. It was a pretty toxic marriage, and we were not mature enough for it at all. We split up before my daughter was 2 and have been better co-parents since. Our daughter's 8 now, and things are great. We co-parent well, respect each other, and are more civil than we ever were before as a couple. When this whole pandemic happened, we were really struggling. My ex wasn't working the same hours, and we literally were losing money paying for a sitter to watch our daughter since they switched to doing school online. We came up with the solution for my ex to move into my apartment. This was to help each other out. Splitting the bills and rent was a lot easier than us doing it on our own, and since she was working certain hours, she could be home watching our daughter so we wouldn't spend so much on childcare. It just worked. It's been this way for months and likely will keep it like this until my daughter starts going to school full-time again and my ex finds better work. My twin sister is in the middle of getting a bad divorce with her husband. The bastard was cheating on her. She doesn't have anywhere to stay that's close except for me. But my sister really hates my ex. She's hated her since high school, and I found out that was because one time she caught a boyfriend of hers with my ex-wife. Then to top it off, she hated all the cheating she did while we were married. I will say though, we were both constantly cheating throughout our marriage. Neither of us were saints, and I'm glad that we've matured a lot since then for our daughter's sake. My sister knows I also cheated on my ex a lot, but she only acknowledges what ex did during the marriage, and I'm sure it's because it ties into what happened in high school. Still, I offered to let my sister stay, but warned she's going to have to be used to my ex's presence and be civil in front of my daughter. My ex doesn't care if my sister stays there. She knows the situation, and it's not like she holds anything against my sister's feelings. But she absolutely refuses to stay unless my ex leaves. It's what she's pressuring me to do now because I should understand the feelings this brings up. And yeah, I do. But that was also a long time ago. Plus, we're relying on each other right now. My ex gave me the ultimatum. Either it's my ex or her, and I told her it's going to be my ex because she can't afford to live on her own right now, and that's going to negatively impact our daughter in the long run. I'm being labeled a piece of shit brother right now by her for not willing to help her in this situation. Right now, she's having to pay to stay in a motel and keeps telling me she'll end up broke this way because there's no one who can take her in. I just feel bad for the situation and wondering if how I handled this makes me the a-hole. OP, you offered your sister a place to stay while she is divorcing her husband. She refused unless you kick your ex, the mother of your child, out. Regardless of whether your sister likes her or not, she is going to be in your life and your child's life regardless. Now, I understand that because your sister got cheated on by her soon-to-be ex-spouse, her feelings are going to be a little amplified by the presence of cheaters. But that is her situation and has nothing to do with y'all. Your sister has no right to choose who gets to live in your house just because of some high school beef. But she does have the choice of staying in a motel and spending her money there. So let her live with her choice and live at the motel. You're not the butthole. You offered to help your sister out and she didn't like the terms and made her choice. Oh well. Anyway, let's see what the people of Reddit think. I think that this comment really hits home with this post. You made a considerate offer to house your sister as long as she respected the dynamic in your family. Even divorced, right now, you and your ex are residing as a family with your daughter. You set boundaries, and you held firm, something you should be proud of. You obviously are trying to do your best to keep the peace in your home and provide a safe, stable environment for your daughter. Your sister can be upset all she wants, but in the end, your child's safety has to come first. And in turn, that does seem to currently include her mother's safety. Good on you for being a great dad and co-parent. If it's at all possible, maybe you could offer to help your sister out in other ways, like maybe helping her with costs or help her to find a place that's more affordable for her. But in no way should you endanger the stable environment your daughter currently has. Your sister is the a-hole for expecting you to make a decision based on her anger and inability to grow up. Well, that's it for this video, my lovely people. If you want to hear more tales from Reddit, as well as my opinions and solutions, like and subscribe for more content. I post new videos every day. And until next time, I'm RedMaroon. Love you guys. Be safe.